Hello family, my name is Chris, I am your home gamer dad, and it is that time of year again, the end of the year to be specific, going from writing the last 2 digits of a particular year on everything you write, and then having to remember, oh, it has to increase by 1 for the next several months, only to have to do it again by the time that year comes to an end. 2024 is ending, 2025 beginning, and that means because New Year's is here as one of my favorite holidays, I can now reflect upon things that I have done in the past and then anticipate things that are coming in the future. This is a yearly tradition that I have been doing for this channel where I have 2 different videos that will be going up, starting with this one as a family meeting reflection of the 2024 year and then anticipating 2025 in the world of video games. Before diving into that list, and there's going to be no particular order any of these are in this year, I just have a list of one and then the other that I want to talk to you guys about. I want to hear about your personal experiences in the world of video games. What were some of your favorite games that you played in 2024? And as always with stuff like this, if it's new to you, then it's new. It doesn't matter if it came out in 2024 or not. So long as this is a new game that you played, what did you think of it? How did it fall into your lifestyle? Do you remember it? Is it something you're going to play again? Or would you recommend it? Whatever this game is. And then, of course, what are you looking forward to playing in 2025? That includes games that have already been released this year that you may not have gotten your hands on. And trust me, my list of wants to play in 2025 starts with a number of those. But let's go back in time to the beginning of the year when I really sat down with it wasn't a brand new PlayStation 5, but if you saw my video from last year, you'll know that right before I made that video, I was gifted a PlayStation 5 from my mother-in-law's friend whose husband had passed away earlier that year. And let me tell you, I have been putting that system to work all year. Starting off right off the hop right now with 2 games that I've been talking about for the last 2 videos that I've made like this, Dead Space and Resident Evil 4. I'm going to start with Resident Evil 4. Resident Evil 4 came out, a year and a half ago, 2 years ago, something along that way. But in 2024, I want to say maybe around June-ish or so, there wasn't really a gold edition, but there was a gold edition that was released. I don't know, whatever it was, I managed to get Resident Evil 4 and the Separate Ways DLC slapped on at the same time, and I just purchased that for my PlayStation 5 digital. I usually prefer physical copies of games. Probably in the future we won't be seeing too many of those or whatever, but that's just my old school way of thinking of it. The actual gameplay for Resident Evil 4 was really fun. I enjoyed the heck out of that game. And let me tell you, I love the original. I've played the original more times than I could count. But going through the remake was fun because I got a little bit more perspective on Leon, his purpose in going there and rescuing Ashley, seeing Ashley's personality shine a little bit more. I didn't really like her in the original Resident Evil 4. I really like her in the remake. I like the way that the merchant has a bigger role in this one rather than some weird shady character, and that's always a lot of fun. I hated Ada in the game. Now, I know that the voice actress got a lot of a hate against her in every way, and her really bland way of delivering Ada's lines. Yes, there was that in the game for sure. But I also think that the writers did not write Ada very well in Resident Evil 4 at all. So another game that I went through multiple times was the Dead Space remake. And I gotta tell you right now, when it comes to games and their remakes, this is how it's done. I know I've said this before with the Resident Evil 2 remake, but I'm going to tell you right now, the Dead Space remake is of higher caliber, at least in my opinion, than the Resident Evil 2 remake or this Resident Evil 4 remake or anything along that way. It just blew my mind how awesome this game was. There was so much to it that I remembered from the original. A lot of the same paths that you took, the characters you ran into, and things along that way. But there was a lot of changes as well. There was a lot of new stuff that came to it. First off, Isaac having a voice right in the beginning was very interesting. I was used to him being a silent protagonist, but he is not that in the remake. And I'm fine with that. I'm actually cool with that because he talks in later games, so why not just have him talk right off the hop? Just the storyline, even though it was the same, it was different. There was just so much about the game that I went in with a huge amount of familiarity to it. but there was enough new and enough surprises in it as well that made me like, oh my god, this is awesome, this is so good. As far as Resident Evil 4, which I forgot to mention before, I know that Resident Evil 9 has been highly rumored, so we're probably going to see that coming out soon. Neither of these are on my what to expect in 2025 list because they're not really official or whatever. But I also hope to see a Resident Evil Code Veronica remake as well, because I never played the original, but I would like to at least jump into it some way, shape, or form, and I think a remake would be my good spot. Another one that took up a good chunk of time for me this year was Tales of Symphonia Remastered. I remember talking about that and being like, I love the game, I'd like to try it, I'd like to see how it is, and like jump into it or whatever. As a PlayStation Premium subscriber, I got it for free 1 month, and I decided to just say, let's do it. Why not? I had nothing else to play. I had nothing else on, to do whatever with. I was really ahead with my videos here for the channel, and I was just sitting around bored. I'm like, sure, let's go ahead and start it. My problem with starting RPGs is that I can't stop playing them until I finish them. That's just how it is. And I think about it all the time. Like I'm playing, and I shut it off, and I'm like, I gotta keep playing. I gotta keep going. I gotta get here. I gotta get here. I gotta get here. And then it's dove right into it. Now, I don't have nearly as much time to play games as I used to. I would play maybe every other day, an hour or two at a time. So a game like that took quite a number of days to get through, but I did it. I went through it and I was very happy with it. It brought back a lot of memories on the game. It reminded me a lot of why I love the Tales series in general. There's a lot of them available right now. I think so. They actually might have been taken off of PSN recently. But I just love the Tales games as a whole. They are, Final Fantasy adjacent of sorts, where it's like they're all not connected, but they all have similar things to them and everything. So I love the way that they do that, and they bring in like the skits and the cooking and things like that for a Tales game. Plus the voice of Robin is Lloyd. Can't go wrong with that. After Symphonia, there was a few other random things as well, but eventually I came across a free game that was available on PSN called the Plucky Squire. And I'll be honest with you, it was a short game. It was very easy to get through, about 8 to 10 hours in total, but it was fun. It was this like random like mini indie game or whatever that I saw. It was free. I'm like, all right, let's give this a shot. It reminded me a lot of Legend of Zelda, which is I'm a big fan of and everything. And it was just, I like jumping in and out of the book. Like you're either doing this 2D adventure inside of a book where, your Plucky Squire is like the main hero, or you have the ability to jump out of the book into the real world and then investigate other things on this desk. And the whole idea is that the main villain of the Plucky Squire in the book realized that they are in a book and he found a way to get out. And now he's trying to make himself the main character of the story. And by doing that, the kid that reads the book then gets influenced a different way and changes his entire life career. And all the people in the book that realize that their books are like, we can't let this happen because this kid is going to do something great. And if this guy is in charge, he's not going to be able to do it. I definitely recommend anybody out there that has PlayStation. It's on a bunch of different things. I saw it on the Switch and everything like that. Pick it up. If you can find it for like $20, it's absolutely worth it around that time. You can go through it a few times in order to get all the collectibles and everything. It is a bit of a collectathon, but it was a fun game. I enjoyed running through each one of the chapters, and maybe when my 5-year-old turns 7 or 8, I'll still have it and we can play together on it. The last thing that I've been playing recently is Advance Wars 1 and 2 Rebooted, or whatever that it's called. Last night, oh my goodness, I did not remember the final fight in the original Advance Wars taking as long as it did. Most of my fights took about 45 minutes to an hour, give or take, maybe a little less, maybe a little more, whatever. I did that final fight against the Black Hole Army with 3 different COs and everything, and it was like 11 o'clock. I'm like, all right, do this for an hour, maybe an hour and 10, I'll be okay. It was like 1:30 in the morning by the time that battle was done, and I beat it. I beat the first Advance War, so now I am going to go back and play number 2 because I loved it. I love the ending animation that they added into Advance Wars 1 when you beat the game was fantastic. I love seeing that. It just dragged on so much, but it was another one of those classic moments that I remember from when I was younger because I played the original ones on the Game Boy Advance, and having the new look of it, the advanced, the HD look and everything, the voice acting, which for the most part is not bad. Don't like Andy, but everyone else is really good. I enjoyed playing it. It was fun, and I'm looking forward to playing Black Hole Rises, right? Is that what it is? I don't know. It's Advance Wars 2, whatever it is. I try not to buy new games because there's plenty of things online that I can download for free and just kind of play regularly. That's why I am a PlayStation Network Plus subscriber, which is like a lot of money for a year now, and it's kind of ridiculous, but I do gain access to a lot of classic PlayStation games that I have been playing lately, and one of the ones that I found and played was Dino Crisis. I made a mention of it not too long ago. Maybe it was last year, 2 years ago, maybe. I gotta look back. When I had my Your Mileage May Vary series, I did a whole one for Dino Crisis, hoping that Capcom is going to be able to put out a new Dino Crisis remake. But it was fun still going through the classic games and playing those. Sly Cooper series just came out, Jack and Daxter Precursor Legacy, or something along that ways. It was really fun just always going back there and seeing these classic ones, seeing new ones come out every month, trying old ones, new ones to me, or anything along that ways. The ability to be able to go back and play those games and see how they stand up to games nowadays is fantastic. Having them available is awesome. They need to put Resident Evil 2 and 3 on that, like, immediately. And then otherwise that, just anything else that they can put out from classic PlayStation era, PlayStation 1, PlayStation 2. There are a few in PlayStation 3 that I like to play as well. If Dead Space would ever get on there, that would be amazing, but I don't think that's going to happen because EA owns that and they kind of get a very tight grip on it. And lastly, as far as new games that I played this year, there's really nothing new in this last one, but it's really just playing games with my kids. My oldest, my 5-year-old, has been really getting into video games lately. We played through all of, it wasn't Kirby 64, it was a Kirby for the Nintendo Wii. I can't remember what it is off the top of my head. This is it on the screen right here so you can look at it. But he was like really curious about the game. He wanted to play as the little pink guy, and he actually ended up being a yellow Kirby through most of it because I was the main Kirby and I could go wherever I wanted. He could die over and over again. It wouldn't matter. I mean, it would suck away our lives, but he was still having a great time with it. And I love now just teaching him games. I love showing him things. And he's really starting to like get a sense and an idea on what it is he needs to do. He's learning how to figure out the button schemes. Like when he's playing something, what does what? Where's my jump? Where's my action? Well, how do I move and everything? Oh, I'm playing through this game. That looks strange. Is there something I can do with that? What's over here? Maybe I can do something over there. Like he's starting to really analyze his surroundings when he's playing the games and having a great time doing it. And I just couldn't be prouder. Did you guys know that Mario Kart had an auto go and an auto turn function? I had no idea until somebody told it to me and I looked into it, and that was great. My 3-year-old loves playing Mario Kart. He loves Mario, and because of the auto forward and the auto turn function, he's just sitting there with his little controller flying around and everything. My 5-year-old's actually like doing pretty good, but you know, still getting in like that 5th, 6th place running, but he's getting better for sure. And then I'm just sitting there with those two on my sides playing it. We're having a fantastic time with it. So that's been one of my big gameplays for this past year, was a lot of retro gaming with my kids. And I look forward to more of that in the future. Speaking of looking forward to stuff in the future, let's go over a few games that I am looking forward to playing in 2025, maybe eventually. Now, the first few on my list, which I'm looking at here, right here, are technically already out. They're not like, they don't have a release date or whatever because they're available to play now. Number 1, Power Rangers Rita's Rewind. I've talked about this a few times now on this channel, and I'm going to be honest with you guys. Do you guys watch Let's Plays anymore? Do you guys even care about them, or understand, like, is that something you'd be interested in? I would love to get the game and then record myself playing it and just enjoying all the nostalgia feeling of the game as I go through it and playing as the different Rangers and seeing what's available. I haven't bought it yet, so I don't know really much about it. I hear it's getting a little weird mixed reviews, but I'd still play it. I'd play it, I'd love it, and I would enjoy it. I just want to make sure that you guys would as well. And I know the world of Let's Plays are kind of dead, but hey, you know what? If it's an option, I'm taking it. Staying on the PlayStation, I'm going to say Spider-Man 2. That did come out this past year. Got pretty good reviews from what I was seeing about it and everything. I love the first one. I love Miles Morales. So I'm pretty sure I'm going to love Spider-Man 2, just all the new stuff from that and everything. And it introduces Venom. Can never go wrong with Venom. Venom's one of my favorite characters. So that's on my hope to play list for the year. And then Mario and Luigi Brothership. The fact that there is another Mario and Luigi game is amazing to me, because that means that Nintendo is actually listening to the fans and like, hey, they like this series, maybe we should make more of them. And with, was it Thousand Year Door that came out for Paper Mario this past year, and the Mario RPG, I'm hoping that games like this really do open up for a new era of Mario games in the RPG world, because that would be fantastic. And I just want to play the new Brothership anyway, because again, the Mario and Luigi games have always been a good time in my book. I think the only one I haven't played is Paper Jam. I'd rather play this over that because it's on the Switch. So those are the few games that have already been released that I'm hoping to play at some point, this year, give or take. There is one more game that I'm looking to play this year at some point that is already out, and that is the Until Dawn remake. I love Until Dawn. I think Until Dawn as a game is one of my favorite games ever. I love the interactive movie elements to it. I've played through that. I've played through the Dark Pictures anthology. I've played through The Quarry. I just love those games so much that the fact that they made the Until Dawn remake with, yeah, it looks better, which is great. The story is kind of the same, but there's enough different about it that should warrant a new playthrough of it. Now, I'm not warranting it as a $60 game at all. If you've never played Until Dawn, maybe then I would go for it, but because I have played the original Until Dawn many, many times, got all of the endings, platinum. That was my first platinum trophy on my PlayStation 4, was Until Dawn. So I would do it again for the remake, but I'm going to wait until it has gone down in price, anywhere between $30 and free. That would be where I would play it at. Might as well start my list of games that are coming out at some point, but no one knows when. Talk about Until Dawn with the interactive movies. The Dark Pictures anthology is bringing out another new game in it, Directive 8020. Looks like horror in space, always a lot of fun. Of course, I'd be playing that on my PlayStation 5. It is scheduled to come out in 2025, so just add the next one to the list, play another one of those Dark Picture anthologies. Metroid Prime 4 Beyond, really cool that that actually has a subtitle to it or whatever. Instead of just Metroid Prime 4, here you go, it's Beyond and all the other ones. So is that coming in 2025? I doubt it. Highly, highly, highly doubt it. But at the same time, I would love just to hear more about it in the future and then put that on a future anticipation list for 2026, 2027, question mark, maybe. But the two that really caught me off guard, and these were just announced recently, maybe like less than a week before me doing this video, was that Capcom, did they revive Clover? Is Clover back in the mix? Because if that's the case, hallelujah, we're not only getting an Okami 2, but another Onimusha game. Way of the Sword, I believe it's called. That just blows my mind that they are actually going in and giving us a legit Okami sequel. Not Okami Den, which was for the DS, Nintendo 3DS, where you play as Chibi, the little a child of Amaterasu, and go through that whole thing. That game had its issues and its ups and downs and everything, but it was still fun that it existed regardless. Now, this is, you are playing as Ami and going through a whole new adventure. Guys, if you haven't already played Okami, play it. You need to play it. It is beautiful. It is amazing. If you love action-adventure games that are similar to like Legend of Zelda, collecting items, collecting power-ups, really building up your character, a beautiful interactive world mixed with characters and lore and legends, and just, I have to go, I'm going to buy it on the Switch again because I think it's $5 right now, and that's a no-brainer as well to buy it. And it's just, I have to replay the original, and then I am very excited for Okami 2 because having that, again, as mentioned before, with like just playing older games and showing, like I did with Mario and Luigi, and I talked about that with Dino Crisis, the more people that play them, it'll show the studios that, yeah, we want more of this. And Onimusha just threw me for a loop seeing that one there. Like, I didn't expect that at all. Like, I thought that was a dead franchise. That is Samurai Resident Evil, and I love the original. I know that they remastered the original. It's not a remake, it's a remaster. So up resolution, maybe adding a few things. So I'm hoping that because this new Onimusha game is coming out and people are excited for it, that we'll see a re-release of Onimusha 1, 2, 3, and 4 coming out at some point, because I've never played the fourth one. I've only played the first three and love them. So that's the big crossing fingers right now, that along, like I said with Dead Space, but like Capcom's a lot more forthcoming with their games in terms of releasing them on certain consoles and everything. Like maybe in 2025, I'm going to put this in there now, I'm going to put this out into the universe, maybe somebody will hear me, that in 2025, Capcom will go crazy dropping their games on these free services, whether it be Xbox or PlayStation or Nintendo, if Nintendo ever gets anything like that. And we'll be able to play like all the Mega Mans, because that's what you do. All the Devil May Cries, because that's what you do. But then like, here's Okami. Maybe Okami then on the Switch for some reason. All of the Onimushas, like just all like the classic Resident Evil games. Like just give us all of that stuff to play now to show you, Capcom, how much we love those series and want you to continue them. That ends my list of what I'm expecting, well, hoping for at least for 2025, what I'm looking forward to. I'm sure there's a lot of other things that are going to pop up along the way. As I mentioned, every month with the new things that are going to be released from PSN. I like the new monthly games that I see. I always try different things. I'll have to keep track of what I play more and more of and what like ranks high for me. But I would say in 2024, my favorite game was Dead Space. That would be my number one pick of the games that I played that were new to me in 2024. Again, if it's new to me, then it's just new in general, but you might have played it way back in the day. That now brings me to you guys out there. What did you think of your year for playing video games in 2024? Are there any video games out there that stand out to you as ones that you really enjoyed to play, that you keep going back to, or anything like that? It could be old, could be new, could be classic, could be legacy, could be something that just came out or whatever. It doesn't matter what it is. I don't even care the genre what it is. Are you like a sports fan? You like all the new basketball games or the Madden games that come out? Or you're a Call of Duty fan? Do you like the new ones that came out for that or whatever? You know, the games like this are for everyone. Games like this are supposed to be made in order to make everyone very interested and engage within their particular genre. I don't like Fortnite. I was very tempted to play Fortnite when Godzilla was in it, and I think he's in it now or coming out or whatever, but not going to do it because I really don't want to dive down that rabbit hole. Thank you guys for taking a seat and listening to me talk about the video games that I played in 2024 and what I'm looking forward to in the future. Once again, let me know what your thoughts and everything about that down in the comments section below. Really hoping that 2025 delivers a lot of what it is that my brain is hoping for. You know, seeing the revitalized series of a lot of classic stuff, you know, just come back out again. My number one wish that will never happen, but I really wish it does, is to see Skies of Arcadia come out as a downloadable game on the Switch, or something that Sega does, specifically the Legends one, because that had all the great stuff in it. But you know, if that came out, that I would buy that game in a heartbeat. That's a 60. To me, that will always be a game that I will buy no matter what. If it was $60, I would be shut up and take my money day one. Wouldn't even have to think twice about it. But that's my number one far out there wish and things along that ways. But regardless of anything, I hope you guys enjoy. I hope you guys have a good rest of the year, a great 2025 ahead of you as well. Be sure to hang around the Home Gamer Dad for when I release my board game version of this, what it is I played through the last year and what I'm looking forward to next year. And of course, any other fun games that I happen to put out for you to enjoy, playthroughs, how to plays, you know, information, things along that ways. So to miss none of that, be sure you are subscribed to the Home Gamer Dad. If you wish to support the channel even further, there are ways to do that down in the description section below. But in all honesty, as always, as I've been saying all year, and it'll carry me right through the new year, your view, your like, your comments, your share, subbing to the channel, things like that, those go a long way to helping the channel grow. Those would mean the most to me, because it's all of you coming in and interacting and sharing the video. I'd love to know if this is shared, where it goes to, and just overall having a great time sitting down as a family, chatting back and forth. I want to hear what you have to say as you've just listened to me ramble on for however much time this has been so far. So take care of yourselves and each other. We are family forever, gaming together. Happy New Year, everyone. Keep on gaming, keep the good times rolling, and I will see you in the next one. Later, everyone.